Good soggy morning, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, May the 6th. This is a video version of the 93rd Kitchissippi newsletter that I will be publishing tomorrow morning, Sunday, May the 7th. Relatively light newsletter this week. Let's jump right in. The first item, one that has been causing a number of tweets and emails to my office. Residents of Hintonburg and Mechanicsville have been hearing a series of loud bangs, usually 4 at a time, spaced every 5 minutes or so apart. I've been cycling around this morning trying to find that, and I'm told by crews on either side of the river that it's coming from the vicinity of the Chaudière Falls hydro expansion. I'm told that it is a propane cannon that is intended to scare birds away from the construction site. That's running, residents tell me, from 6 until 11 at night. I hope actually by the time I put the newsletter out tomorrow morning I'll have some more details, but right now it looks like those noises you're hearing are a propane cannon that is seeking to scare birds away. Also in the newsletter this week, just a quick reminder, on May the 10th we're holding an open house, the second one to take a look at the redevelopment of Reed Park. That's nestled up near Reed and the Queensway. There is a big redevelopment of that park coming this summer. Come on by the open house at the Hintonburg Community Center to get some more details about construction schedule and the environmental remediation. Hope to see many of you there. Also in the newsletter this week, the only hearing for which I have any items at the Committee of Adjustment right now is the May 17th. I went through those in the newsletter last week, but just to reiterate, there are a number of properties: 691, 693 Melbourne, 461, 463 Dawson, and 467 Highcroft, where the owners are seeking to subdivide the properties, create separate ownerships for the two halves of, for example, a semi-detached. Those should be approved by the committee. There is also a application at 69/71 Holland Avenue that is the demolition of the two existing buildings that are on that site to construct an 8-story apartment tower. That apartment building is being built as of right, with the requirement on their part for a variance in order to get some relief on the step backs that would ordinarily be required. So that's going to the Committee of Adjustment on May the 17th. There is also a item on that agenda at 1174 Gladstone. The owners are seeking to add an addition onto the home. It requires a bunch of variances on setbacks, rear yard area, things like that, that will be heard on May 17th. At 373 Princeton, it's the site of the new Cornerstone Supportive Housing. I was at a fantastic fundraising event there earlier this week. They are seeking some variances associated with the side yard setback, driveway width, parking lot landscaping, as well as a subdivision to delineate that supportive housing part of the lot from the other part of the lot that will be filled in with market infill housing at some point down the road. Cornerstone is fundraising right now to accomplish that project. They announced on Thursday that they have, I think it's $850,000 of $1.5 million that they're seeking. I can certainly provide more details if you want to help on that. And on May 17th, the committee is also going to hear the application for 639 Highland that was adjourned from a previous meeting. In the newsletter this week as well, just one more reminder, the Municipal Services Corporation that will be running the markets come January 1st, 2018, is seeking board members. Myself, the Mayor, and Councillor Fleury will be choosing the initial board members for that. The recruitment process was extended until May the 10th. Those details are in the newsletter. I know many of you have skill sets in law, marketing, events management, agriculture that could potentially be very useful on that volunteer board, and I hope that many of you will step up and apply. This week on May the 9th, I am hosting pop-up office hours. Those are going to be held from 2 to 5 at the Bridgehead. That's by Golden Avenue. That's Golden and Richmond Bridgehead. Come on by, chat about anything Kitchissippi that's on your mind. The rain has begun again. There is also this week on May the 11th, that's Thursday, from 7 until 9, an open house to take a look at the final plans for the Loretta Avenue rebuild. Loretta Avenue is being rebuilt, then that will probably go from just the south part of the Queensway. So the north part of Loretta is not planned to be rebuilt this year. Also in the newsletter, Van Lang, the Fieldhouse at Van Lang, that has been a remarkable success. I'm thrilled with that. I have a link in the newsletter to a document that has all the programming that is being offered there that has been very helpfully put together by our partners at the Carlington Community Health Center. Also in the newsletter this week, I am in the Mechanicsville Innovation Garden. I'm told you can see some of the sprouts are coming up. Probably can't quite see it in this video, but those big planters in there are being gardened by a coalition that includes the Somerset West Community Health Center as well as the Mechanicsville Community Association. They have a Facebook page. The link is in my newsletter, and they are seeking some donations of help, particularly some help with equipment donations right now. Please, let's get this initiative underway. Great opportunity to address some of the food security challenges in the neighborhood. Great education opportunity. Follow the link in the newsletter in order to find out how to help more. Also in the newsletter, the Wellington Village Community Association is holding its annual general meeting on May the 16th. Details are in the newsletter. I'll be there to provide some updates, and that is always a very engaged community association. I'm looking forward to attending that. Also in the newsletter, the Churchill Alternative School, that's Churchill at Ravenhill, is doing some fundraising right now in order to renew their play yard. I've got details of how you can help in the newsletter. Please follow those links to see how you can help. The Churchill Senior Center annual general meeting is coming up. That is going to be on Wednesday, May the 17th. It starts at 11 in the morning. At 12:30, after the AGM official part goes, Grateful We're Not Dead, what an awesome name for a band, is going to be playing for the attendees of the AGM. We don't have a particularly busy legislative agenda this week at City Council. At Planning Committee, a couple of items that I'm very interested in. Building Better, Smarter Suburbs is an initiative that's been going for a couple of years now. As our suburbs really intensify, they're looking at best practices with respect to how to build those, how to build them more cost effectively. There is a report, an update on that task force's initiatives on the Planning Committee agenda this week. Another report that I haven't read, the 5-year review of the Section 37 guidelines. The Section 37, who may not know, is a part of the Planning Act that requires developers to provide a contribution to the public interest arising from rezonings that they get that increase the density or height of their site. Not every development has that, but many do. Section 37 is contentious. I have not had a chance to take a look at planning staff's recommendations on that front. Looking forward to doing that this weekend. Also in the legislative agenda this week, City Council will meet on Wednesday. A couple of headline items on there. The first of which is the Elgin Street redesign. I think many of you probably read in the press this week, Elgin Street is being redesigned. They are taking away lanes of traffic, widening the sidewalks. There's going to be new raised intersections, bulb outs. It is a compromise design that I think I can support. There are two hard lines on that. There are folks who really wanted to see the city get much more aggressive with respect to implementing particularly cycling infrastructure down Elgin in order to make it a more friendly shopping environment for people using all modes of travel. On the other hand, we also know that there was a considerable pushback against the loss of parking from the merchants in the area, and there are commuting considerations as well, as some of the suburban residents of Ottawa seek to continue to be able to use Elgin as their main arterial route to the Queensway. The design that has been crafted is a compromise. I believe I can support it given the reality of how politics will play on this issue. Also, another headline item is likely to be the demolition of a home on Buckens in the Rockcliffe Heritage Conservation District. There is a new Heritage Conservation District in Rockcliffe. One of the homes that's there has been, the owners are applying to demolish it in order to accomplish a much bigger home. I believe that the legal grounds are there to deny the demolition application of that heritage consideration, and at Planning Committee a week or so ago, the staff recommendation to reject that application was overturned by the committee. I did vote to support staff, but it looks like it will be a very close vote at council. I'm looking forward to that meeting. Also in the newsletter, in my own schedule, a few different items that I think are interesting. Continuing meetings on the plan to redevelop La Roche Park just across the way. There are also meetings, I have a meeting with on-site in the ward with traffic staff and residents as we try to break through some of the policy handcuffs that are on us with respect to using my traffic calming budget in a fairly effective way. We often are told no by staff with respect to putting in things like flexi-posts and planters. We're going to have a bit of a pencil sharpening session with staff on the ground to see how we can break through some of those policy constraints moving forward. Also in my week, there is an interesting meeting to explore the implications of the recent decision to allow the Byron's Farmers Market to continue there. I'm meeting with some residents around parking on that decision, and a number of resident and developer and staff meetings around construction projects, etc. All the usual. Listen, stay dry, Kitchissippi. The rain is tailing off. I hope it's going to be a great evening for the happening party in the park. The bands get underway at 7. I'm introducing the bands. I know the mayor's going to be by there around 5:30 or so. I think our MP Catherine McKenna and MPP Yasser Naqvi will be at the site around 1 o'clock today to open that party. Should be great. Let's hope the rain holds off. Kitchissippi, stay dry. Have a great week. Thanks.